So you will find in each of the galleries, the way the curator set them up was to dedicate to a certain geographic area and culture. We haven't kept strictly to that because in reality, half of the show space in the museum was dedicated to 19th century American artists. Because of space limitations, we don't do that. And right now, two of the galleries are closed next to the Peacock Room, which I think in another 2 weeks are going to have a special show on things like the Whistler and the story of the Peacock Room and how that whole thing related. But that's usually where we exhibit Freer's collection of 19th century American artists, including John Samuel Sargent, Whistler, Thayer, whole gamut of artists. Okay. So what's this all about? Well, this is about the South Asian continent. If you look at each of them, it'll tell you where they're located. And this is the area we call today India and Pakistan. It's bordered on the north by the Himalayan mountains. And on the east by, of course, the sea. It's essentially a peninsula. So from antiquity, people who came into this area of land usually came in from the east. And, one of the last invaders were under the Islamic regime of the Mughals. And you will find along the coast here, the northwest coast of the Indian Peninsula, if you want to call it that. It's really a subcontinent. A lot of famous Mughal palaces from the 18th century, these really lavish things. Yet when it came under the rule of Great Britain, under the Raj, R-A-J, they were used as facilities for not only the local princes, but also for British government and so forth. And that's one of the most beautiful areas architecturally of India, but it's dedicated to a certain period. But the general thing I just want to say before I talk about the pieces here is that India since antiquity has been one of the first places where our species of Homo sapiens first established permanent communities. Before that time, our ancestors were hunter-gatherers. You've heard of that? And they basically hunted and gathered and moved, and this is probably why our species moved out of Africa and populated the rest of the globe. They were hunting and gathering for new areas. In the coast, which is now in the country of Pakistan, back in the third millennium, there was a city that was established, not really a city, but a permanent settlement. And this also mimicked a similar enterprise happened in China, as we will see when we talk about the jades. It goes back to the Munshar culture from about the third millennium, and also down in the Levant and what we call now the Eastern Mediterranean as well. So what does that have to do with anything? Well, once people settled down and established communities, you started specializing. This is kind of like basic 101 history we're talking about here. So if you had a village, somebody had to be in charge of making things run smoothly. So they became sort of chieftains, usually male. And then there were people specialized. You had the people who kept order. So you had the police or soldiers. You had the people who worked the land because now they were planting. They had domesticated plants, the grains, and they had domesticated cattle. And so there were people that were in specialized occupations. Now this is reflected in the religion of most cultures that we talk about. If you think about the Indian or the Hindu pantheon of gods, of which there are hundreds, each village or area had its own people that they worshipped as gods of nature or whatever it was.